CSU Chronicles 10/29/22 Introduction. Trigger warning. This entry has mentionings of self-harm, suicide, and ideations. I miss the homies. I really wish I could have gone out last night, but I guess this was for the best. At least that's what everyone keeps saying. I honestly don't think it's a big deal. If I'm gonna kill myself, then I'd probably do it when I got out, right? But it has been nice being here, to an extent. Some pros, I kind of feel like I don't have to worry about the outside world. I can sleep in, I don't have to worry about when my next meal is, I have health professionals that I can talk to, and I have no responsibilities except for myself. Some cons, my movement and access are very limited. I'm in a room with two weirdos, sorry, I'm judgmental. I don't get my phone or to see the homies. I think a lot of people are worried about me. There's no mirror, and I still don't have a toothbrush. I don't know how I'm going to feel or what I'm going to do once they let me out. There's a lot of conflict and a lot of things I don't know. I want to stay here for the resources and comfortability. I don't want to stay here because I don't feel entirely safe and I just don't want to be here. I miss my friends. I want to party, but I want to feel better. Even though the parties are temporary distractions, they're still fun things I look forward to. I feel like if I had better medicine and access to a consistent and respectful therapist, then I could have the best of both worlds. It didn't have to get to this point. Part of me wants to keep living, but an even bigger part of me was excited about my suicide. Thinking about it makes me smile and makes my eyes light up. It does make me want to cry, but because it's so pretty and the fact that it makes me feel happy makes other people worry. If this is what's going to bring me happiness, ruminating about it, then why can't I have those fantasies? I used to get happy about weed or partying or sex or basketball or anime that they became compulsive obsessions. So what's so wrong about this? That it's death? Death is a natural thing. So why should other people have a say in how I choose to go about it? Why is everyone in my business? No one cared before, or at least they didn't show that they cared. But now that something dramatic and scary is happening, then people want to tell you they love you. I tell my friends I love them all the time, during the bad, but especially during the good. So why is it that I only get attention when I choose to end my suffering? It shows you how selfish everyone is. If they really cared, then they'd say it like they meant it, and they'd say and show it all the time. Because now I'm gonna get out of here and have my 15 minutes of fame until I start acting like I'm fine. You know why? Because those 15 minutes are out of pity to make them feel better. Because humans are selfish. Nurse T even said so last night. They're keeping me here to show me that they care. It's not like they can stop me from doing anything once I'm out. It's just to be able to say, hey, at least we tried. And that's the bullshit, selfish ideals that everyone follows. I told Dad I'd been feeling like this for years, and the only reason I didn't do anything after my assault is because it would have been 2 days before Mom's birthday, and that would have been crappy. His response, yeah, that would have been crappy. Like, why not say something like, I'm sorry the assault made you feel like you needed to do that? Or, I'm sorry that we pushed you so hard and neglected you. Why am I the only one who has to suffer the consequences of other people's actions that broke me? It's everyone else's fault that I'm like this, because I've tried so hard for so long to fix myself, to rely on myself, to seek resources, to lean on those who said I could lean on them. But they all said it was too much. None of them ever meant what they said. None of them were ever truly there. At some point, I was and always will be too much. I'm the only person who has always been with me, and even I'm getting tired of it. I can't keep doing this anymore, and I should have kept that to myself. And here I am in this mess that I got myself into because I really needed help. Really, I wanted help. But they'll probably just throw me out after 15 minutes of fame are up too. Everybody throws me out. I'm just trash. Everybody uses me to make themselves feel better, to better their images, to help them become successful. I let them use me because I want to feel like I have a purpose, because I want to feel useful. But it's only ever temporary. It's always temporary. They cast me out and blame me for why things went wrong. I'm just their scapegoat. And then someone comes along and shows me fickle love, a love that's fleeting and untrue. And I accept it because it's only love I've ever known. I've only been taught to be loved conditionally. Dad only loved me when I was a successful student athlete. And despite trying my best and being the only one of his kids to do what he asked, he still stopped loving me. My high school coaches loved me because I was a great ideal athlete who uplifted their program and inspired the other athletes around me. But after 8 league championships, 10 plus CIF titles, 2 state championships, and countless first places, I was abandoned over something as minuscule as one practice. They misled everyone and stole my future. My high school friends only loved me because I brought them into the spotlight with my skills. They were nothing compared to me and nothing without me. And when they figured that out, they betrayed me and blamed me for what they lacked. The college assistant coach always hated me because I was a natural athlete but also a hard worker. I outworked her hard work. Instead of accepting me and appraising me, she tried everything in her power to get rid of me. She even started coming after me as a person instead of an athlete. The college cross country coach saw potential in me and knew I was broken. He pushed me past my limits before I was ready to, and then shamed me and gave me an ultimatum that would ruin my self-esteem and image. He further blamed me for my inabilities and sufferings, and then lied to everyone the same way my high school coaches did. The asshole who assaulted me was a liar and abused my friendship and trust. He ignored me, he hurt me, then he bullied me, and nothing has come back to serve him justice. My close college friend was fake and bored, just like my closest high school friend. They needed someone to entertain them while they had no one else. They needed someone they knew they could walk all over, who felt some sort of gratitude and loyalty for choosing them at my lowest. They felt entitled to my friendship, and the moment I grew a backbone and defended myself, they blamed me and pushed me to the point of anger and hatred so they could be justified. My sisters both used me to pull them out of holes, to help them become decent women, and the moment they felt like they could survive without me or even surpass me, they threw shit in my face and abused me, even while I was still helping them. My whole family relied on me for so long while I was struggling in a new environment. They abused my kindness, my maturity, my love, until I had nothing left to give, not even to myself. And when I finally thought I had found a real love, he ended up being the worst out of all of them. He just wanted me for beauty, for sex, for my ability to fix him and help him grow. I made him into who he is. I made him into a better version of himself, the person he wanted to be. I fulfilled my promise, and he did nothing but hurt me the entire time. He would bully me, neglect me, push me to the edge, and then kick me off of it. He would have me come up with solutions to his mistakes and help him fix it. He made me submissive. And when I thought I could be open with him and share my grief the same way I let him share his, he told me I was too much. He got mad at me. He became annoyed. He lied to me. He led me on even after he broke my heart. Just to abandon me, break me, blame me. To do a culmination of everything everyone else did, after he promised me that he wouldn't. He promised. He promised. He promised. He lied. I hate him because he made me believe that I loved him. He made me believe he loved me. But I did love him. Every day I keep loving him because I thought it was real. He liked me first. He told me he loved me. He told me he wanted to start a family with me. He told me he could handle me. But he lied. And he demolished what very little trust I had. And not just the trust I had in other people, the trust I had in myself to not be tricked again, to not be stupid. But I am stupid. I'm worthless. I'm an idiot. I hate everyone for breaking me and turning me into someone I hate. Why can't anyone just truly, genuinely love me? Why can't anyone fix me? Why doesn't anyone stay? Why does everyone lie? Why me? I'm not sorry for any of it. Editor's note, 11/28/22, 14:13. Wow, that was a lot. And there's a lot to unpack here. First of all I could think about is how much anger and hate there was in my heart that I started coming after everyone else rather than doing self-reflection. But furthermore, it scared me because I don't necessarily disagree with anything I wrote. I feel like everything written is mildly valid. However, there's definitely a better way to have said it. I just don't know how in this moment. There's a lot of blame and pointing fingers. It honestly feels like a burn book. But that was the mental state I was in, and like I said, I'm not sorry for any of it. That's to say that I'm not going to water down or invalidate my own feelings just because I'm worried about how other people may perceive it. My feelings are my own, and I shouldn't feel guilty about them. I've already done that for so long, and I've learned that holding them back or blaming myself for feeling the things that may upset other people only causes more damage to myself. It doesn't mean that there isn't for sure a better way to go about expressing these negative feelings. Throughout the sharing of my entries, I'm not going to hold back or apologize for the things that I say because these thoughts were initially meant for me. Creating this podcast is still for me. It's a new way for me to cope and express myself. So if people mentioned in it are offended by it, I am sorry that my feelings create negative emotions in you, but I'm not sorry for saying it. If it is something that's not pleasing, don't feel like you have to tune in. But also know that you can always reach out to me and we can have a respectful conversation about it if that's something you'd like to do. This podcast is not meant to throw shade at anyone. It's meant to share my feelings and perceptions of my life experiences and those who have made an impact. In terms of the questions that I had at the end, like, why can't anyone just truly, genuinely love me? Why can't anyone fix me? Why doesn't anyone stay? Why does everyone lie? Why me? It feels like this majority of the entry was a pity party for myself. And a lot of the times when people get in a dark hole, that's all we can do is pity ourselves and blame other people. When I said, why can't anyone truly, genuinely love me? It's a cliche, but I had to learn how to love myself first. How to be comfortable in my own skin and be comfortable with my own personality. And then I was able to find somebody who did like me, and we were able to create love between that. There's no one who can fix me. There are people who can help and be part of the journey, just like there are people who could be part of the journey and have negative impacts on me. But at the end of the day, it's up to me to quote unquote fix me. Like I said, that comes with self love and being comfortable with what I do have to offer, but also recognizing the things that I don't like, the characteristics that I have that may not be beneficial to my main personality. Why doesn't anyone stay? Well, life is constantly changing and people have their own paths. That doesn't mean that there aren't going to be people who stay, but everybody has a purpose to serve in your life. Every relationship has an expiration date, whether it comes sooner or later. No matter what, there are going to be people who stick around, but that doesn't mean that they won't leave in some way or another. Why does everyone lie? Not everyone is always lying. Sometimes our perceptions of what we believe they're saying versus their actions can make it seem like they're lying. Sometimes people do lie, but that doesn't mean that everyone lies. And why me? It's such a pitiful thing to say. Everything happens for a reason, and I know that. During this time in my darkest hole, why me was a big thing. Why do I not have control over my emotions? Why do people treat me the way that they treat me? Why do I have to go through the things that I'm going through? And honestly, like our generation says, it's to build character. I've become the person that I am today because of what I've gone through. And I would not wish a lot of the things that I've gone through on anybody, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't helped to make me into who I am. It's difficult, but it still shaped me into the person that I am becoming and who I want to become. With that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the entries. With love and divinity, J. DeGario.